Welcome back to Nuclear Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. This is an exciting day for me. We haven't been in the studio since COVID. This is our second show back, and we have the vivacious and incredibly talented author and sculptor rather, Mrs. Stella Singleton. Hello, Stella.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming back. I haven't seen you since
Ooh, 10 years?
That was kind of facilitated by COVID because it wouldn't have been that long, but COVID put the barrier that elongated the. But either way, you're back. We're all alive, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Your book, which is called "My Grace Is Sufficient."
Yes.
We're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, just want to let everybody know that you are a rare sculptor. What you're holding right there is a certificate.
This is for you, Maurice. This is the Unity sculpture that's in the White House. It was presented to President Obama, and First Lady Michelle wrote a thank you note on there. It also has the story that I wrote to President Obama about my journey, and that is a gift from me to you.
Thank you so much, Stella.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. That'll be on my wall.
No, please do, please.
It'll be right on my wall. Now, let's get into, first of all, I know that you started sculpting kind of like as a calling because your mom kind of spoke you into it as a parental type of manifestation.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
When I was 3 years old, my mom and grandma was watching news on a Saturday morning, which as a little kid, I wanted to watch cartoon. And I picked up a pen and a piece of paper and I drew my mom. And because she said to me, "This is beautiful," I decided right on that spot to be an artist. So I tell parents, whenever your child shows you something and displays something that you think is beautiful, you inspire them and let them grow into that field.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yes.
So as a child, you progressed from pictures with your mom
Yes.
to
Doing
contests?
Yes, I did an art contest when I was 13 years old. I won a big art award for the state of California, and the prize was to attend Otis Art University, and I did a California Design Center. And if anybody remember, back in the day when McDonald's came out, they used to have the wrapping papers around their burgers. Well, my design class that I was part of at age 13 designed the styrofoam containers all fast food restaurants use today.
Wow.
So I have credit
That's
in
incredible.
California Design Center for doing that at the age of 13.
You have a living legacy that people are going to be looking at, but they're not going to be quite aware, but it is what it is.
Yes, I was part of that team.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
It's
so that
amazing.
was a blessing from the Lord.
He's still blessing you too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I am just so grateful that I am an artist and I'm able to go out and inspire people with the art and tell them about Jesus at the same time.
Yeah. Now, not everybody can get their work, or even for that matter, get into the White House unless they have. With me, I went on a tour guide with my parents on a vacation, touring the White House.
Yes.
That was cool. But you have something that presidents are going to be looking at from Obama on. How did that come about?
I created the uni sculpture at Santa Monica Junior College, and I said to myself, I said, "Lord, this piece is too beautiful for one person to have in their home. Where should I send it?" So I walked around the table twice and looked at the sculpture, and the Holy Spirit told me to ship it and send it to the White House. And that's what I did. Within a month after the art piece was shipped to the White House, the coordinator of the White House contacted me and said, "It's a lovely piece. We really thank you for this beautiful piece." And then President Obama saw it and sent me a thank you note, and it's been in the White House since 2009.
Wow.
And as of 2011, it became a permanent collection of the White House, meaning that it'll never leave the White House.
Living legacy.
Yes.
You got it from eating utensils to presidential.
Yes.
What's what we're looking for? Presidential mainstays.
Correct.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Definitely. Tell us about your newest offerings here. Now this looks like kind of like a boot I would see myself getting up in the morning whether I'm out in the field as a soldier
Yeah.
or in my house, just don't want to put the strings on, just stick my foot into a shoe.
Well, I recreated this. It's a clay boot, the only thing I ever made out of clay. And I decided that I was going to make it for the military branch of all services. And I spoke to a gentleman that was over the military branch, and we decided to make that boot for the fallen soldiers. They would put their name on the side and the date, and they would give it to the parents as a present. So this is still a project that's ongoing. So with God's faith, He'll direct me in the right directions to get that project moving.
That's amazing.
And you can lace it up just like a real boot. And I remember putting it on my coffee table. My mom came over and she said, "Take that boot off the table." And I said, "Well, pick it up." And when she picked it up, she could not believe it was an art piece.
Wow. It's got like indentations in it like a real boot.
Yes, it sure does.
The inner, I guess you call it the sleeve.
The sleeve, yep.
Quite phenomenal.
Thank you, thank you. And it's funny, on this boot, the reason why I don't work out of clay, I put so much water in it, and it would collapse on me. After the third time, I said, okay, we're going to do this, and this is it for the clay world.
That is something else.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this here, like I said, looks like something I could eat.
This is Flaming Torch. This is an alabaster stone with a honey ice center from Japan. And it's just more of a freelance kind of abstract sculpture. And I was just trying to inspire. I was doing an event in, I think it was in Long Beach, and they were telling me they had beautiful color. So I was trying to design something with some color to it, and this is what I came up with.
That's very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, a lot of people don't know, but you're also an author.
Yes, I am.
Tell us a little bit about your book, which you gave to me. I know some of it. I haven't seen it since last year, two years ago, when I gave it to my mother as a Christmas present.
Oh, thank you.
So, and I think I let my sister read it too.
Okay, I would love to hear their comments.
Yeah.
But my book is called My Grace is Sufficient by Stella Singleton Jones. It's about my art journey and my medical journey to inspire others to never give up on their dreams. And regarding my medical journey, I am a survivor of meningococcal spinal meningitis. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. It took me a year to walk and talk all over again.
Wow.
And unfortunately, during that time, I lost all my training as far as I worked at MTA, and I could no longer go back to work.
Wow.
So my doctor told me to go back to school, and I had to remember what I studied in college, and that was the arts. So I went back to Santa Monica Junior College, and I made the first sculpture out of the coma, was the Unity piece, which is in the White House now.
Now, you did graduate from UCLA, right?
Yes, I did. I went from Santa Monica Junior College and UCLA.
And you almost made the Olympics?
I almost made the Olympics.
Tell us
That's interesting. We jumped from art to
but it's
sports.
It's all kind of segue because the art, actually your disease led to the art.
Uh-huh.
And then the art took you to UCLA.
Correct.
There you got into sports. So
actually, I've been doing sports since I was 15 years old, junior high school. I also was on the USA national team, and we ran to Arizona and competed against Japan, but unfortunately I didn't do very well. But I went on in 1984. I did make the Olympic trials, but I didn't go past the first round. But it was a great experience.
It's an incredible experience.
Yes, it was.
Most people don't get
that far.
We can go and watch, but we're not going to be up. They was like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Oh, but I want to do it. No. You got, because you had to place. You had to win a certain amount of meets to get to that spot.
Correct. Yes, you do.
Now, what was that like?
Very interesting because you're with the best of the best in the United States, and you're going through several heats.
Which people might not know what heats are, though.
Heats are, you have like the first 7 groups that run in that. Say, for example, if I ran the 100 meters, you have the first 7 that will run the 100 meters, and they take the top 3, and then they go to the second heat of the 7 group, and they take the top 3, and then at the end, everybody compete, and then the top 3 are the ones that go to the Olympic trial.
How many heats did you have to go through?
I went to 3.
That was cool. I bet the competition is fierce.
Yes, it was. Very fierce.
Are the girls sweet or nasty at that point?
The girls, when they get to that stage, they're very independent. They don't want to talk. They're not very nice. They just want you, leave me alone and let me concentrate on my race.
I'm trying to get on that Wheaties box.
That's right.
Step off.
So true, so true. But it was fun. It was a great experience. I tell any young person, go out there and do whatever you can and just enjoy yourself.
Very cool. I noticed that there's a lot of athletes. That's another reason why I kind of segued into it. A lot of athletes have done what you've done. They've gone not only from sports into something else, but a lot have gone either into music, become very good. Some have gone into, like Michael Strahan, into journalism.
Right. Well, you know what? Most sprinters either go into law enforcement because they like them because they can run fast. So either 9 times out of 10, your police officers and your sheriffs, they ran track back in college.
Actually, Shaquille O'Neal is a sheriff.
Yeah.
Ernie Tubbs, I don't think he ever did sports, but he's a sheriff as well.
Yeah.
But the guy that does Good Morning America, one of those shows with Gail, he's an ex-sprinter.
Is he? Oh.
Ex-football player, too.
For real? Oh,
Played
okay.
for Seattle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just straight up. So now, tell us about some of your new projects coming up. So I think I heard you telling the last person on my show, Lee Benton, that you had some new projects coming up.
I'm working on a sculpture as we speak for Honda dealership, and hopefully I'll have it finished in the next month. And I'm hoping that will open doors, other avenues. And I also go when I do art shows and art events. I like to be around the young people to inspire them to go and go forth and do their dreams and never give up. And I owe everything from what I'm doing in my life to the Lord. He's blessed me, and I want to be a blessing to others and inspire others people to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior.
Cool. Who inspired you, and where did you get your training?
Who inspired me was my great-grandmother. She loved the Lord, and she would push me to go to church and read the Bible, and that's just been in my heart ever since then.
Now, as far as your mom inspiring you, did you, you did a lot of sprinting in high school.
Yes.
But you must have done a lot of art in high school, unless this was just natural.
Okay. When I won the art competition for the state of California, and when I went to Otis University, Otis was the ones that pushed me to go to Santa Monica High School. And when I went to Santa Monica High School, I realized none of the students were talking about art, so I didn't share with them that I did art. But they only knew me from the sports world. So I played basketball and ran track for Santa Monica High School. But once I left there and went on to college and continued my art, well, I came back in contact with those high school students, and they were like, well, why didn't you share with me that you did art? And I said, well, I thought it wasn't a cool thing because you guys never spoke about it. So, it was interesting to go through that experience to realize that, they would have been interested if I had shared it with them. But as a kid, I didn't know.
Was there anyone in particular that took you under the wing and said, this is how you do it? Cut it this way, slice it that way, lean back, don't put so much pressure. Any type of guidance?
Not really, outside of the instructor saying, here, this is what you're going to do, and you just go for it. I just connect with the Holy Spirit. Just me and the Holy Spirit go in our little world, and I create something that's nice and try to inspire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, getting back towards your book, I think I remember you saying there was a dark spirit or dark figure. Was there anything, did I read that right, when you were either recovering or when you were in the hospital? When
I was in the hospital, I went through a whirlwind of emotions. I went from highs to lows. You have to remember, when I got sick, before I got sick, I was running cross country races. Yeah, and not for nothing particular, but just for fun. And I got ill, and then when I woke up, I was paralyzed. So
Wow.
became very depressed because I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't do anything for myself. And I remembered I was a runner, and it just dawned on me I won't ever run again. And to this day, I don't run again. I do try to walk when I can.
Wow.
But
So it robbed you of that.
it robbed me of that.
Wow.
And the meningitis. So I tell anybody, if you catch a cold and you can't heal after 2 weeks from the cold, you need to go straight to the hospital because it could be something more severe than a cold. And that's what happened in my incident. I became sick. I didn't go to the doctor till 2 weeks later.
Thought it
And
was
then
a
I found,
cold.
And then I went to the doctor. He just thought I had a cold. And then within 24 hours, I was in a coma. So,
Wow.
yeah.
We touched on that earlier, and you said you might want to talk about something you may have seen on the other side, or it's too
Yes.
personal?
When I was in the coma, I remember seeing, I thought I was in like a wood shop. I saw a whole bunch of tools and lights, and I didn't know where I was. So when I woke up and I asked my mom, I said, was I around a lot of tools? She said, no. I said, well, I saw something. I don't know what it was, but I sure wanted to be away from it. And, she just looked at me and stared. She said, well, no telling, because I had high fever. So, yeah.
Can you ever see yourself creating like the Stella Singleton School of Art?
Excuse me?
Can you ever envision yourself doing things like to embolden young kids, black or white, into art, like say having a Stella Singleton School of Art and Sculpture, or coming to different schools and
Yes,
providing-
I can see that. I try to do, even now, once a year, I try to have an art exhibit with workshops for the next generations of artists. And I usually do that during the summertime. I have anywhere from 6 to 7 workshops. And at the end of the workshop, the artwork that they created, I let them exhibit with me. And so they can have their experience of what it feels like to exhibit in an art gallery and what goes through it, putting the artwork up and all the different procedures of being in a gallery. In my first year that I did that, I had a 5-year-old all the way until 15 years old, and they loved it. By the time we got to like the 5th workshop, even their parents were sitting down doing artwork with their children. And I thought that was so fascinating. And I said to myself, I said, art is healing, and art brings people together. And I decided from that first show that I would do more shows like that in the future. It was just a beauty to see that.
There's there's at least one school like that in Santa Monica, but it's mainly art. And they have the children out, and I'm wondering if the kids are drawing these, because they're incredibly bright colored and pretty good art. And they all sit outside on Broadway and I think 14th Street.
Oh, in Santa Monica? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and they come out and teachers there, and each little kid has their own little space, and they're doing stuff. This is really interesting.
Well, you have to remember, if there wasn't any artists, a lot of things we have wouldn't be involved into something, because you have to have an artist to draw it. So I tell everybody, support the artists, because they're the one draw everything that we have.
Who's your favorite art or sculptor?
Myself.
Well, you've probably traveled. Have you ever been to another country and
No,
seen
I have
art?
never been to another country. I plan to go to Paris, and I plan to go to England just to see all the beautiful artwork.
Now, I happen to have been born in France. My father was in the service.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh, how nice.
yeah. I went to the Louvre.
That's where I want to go.
Even as a little kid, you're looking at some badass art.
Yes, you are.
It's ridiculous. And you're just like,
How did they do that, huh?
yeah, because,
Because in their time, they didn't have those kind of paints and chisel tools.
well, the thing that touches me, I've taken art classes. I've done all right. I've never done sculpture. I've done art. And the concept, I think it's the Impressionist guys
Right.
that do the art so good, it looks like it's a photo. It's like, how in the world did you do that in what,
And you painted that.
1700 or whatever?
Right.
And we can't do that today.
Right.
It's just totally amazing.
And yes, totally amazing to me too. Because I think when I chisel, they didn't have these kind of chisel tools to make the pyramid and all those buildings. And I asked myself, well, how did they do that? Because they didn't have these sharp tools. They didn't have these different chisel tools. So it's amazing to myself. So one day I'll get to the pyramids and look over the pyramids and try to figure it out.
Our friend Maria went there, and she sent me these photos. Might have sent you two on the camels.
Yeah.
She's out there looking at the pyramids and going into the catacombs and looking at all types of wild stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Do you find that there's not many blacks in your field doing this?
To my knowledge, I only know two, myself and another female that's black. That's female.
What type of, are there different styles?
There's different styles. I'm an abstract stone sculpture person, and you have figurative stone sculpture people, but I don't do figures. I don't draw anything. I just I have a conversation with for a commission sale, and that conversation I take in the studio and I just create something lovely. I don't know what it's going to look like until it's finished myself.
Now, when we had lunch, you told us that you were thinking of, it looked like you were getting inspired and you could visualize seeing something, and you said this is going to be art.
It's going to, right. Every meeting or gathering I have, I take that conversation of that meeting and I create something. So if you go to my website, sculpturesbystella.net, every sculpture is from a journey of a conversation, a meeting, and that's how I express it.
So now when you said it's going to be art, are you going to actually do like a setting of people?
No, it's going to be an abstract. Only way I can describe it best is I'll take a stone and I look at stones in 4 different shapes. So I look from the top, the bottom, and the 2 sides. And I'll chisel the top, one side, the bottom, the next side, until there's no other place to chisel, and the sculpture's finished. So I will not know what the sculpture looks like until I'm finished.
It just happens to take a hold of you and guide you?
Yes.
Now, I've always envisioned sculptures as trying new landscapes. Like, say, I guess you have a studio, but sometimes you do it someplace else, right?
I do it in my sister's backyard. I like that. And the reason why, because I look at the ants and the little bugs running around, and I look at maybe kind of how the lines they make by moving in the grass. I like that. And I might take something, so I like, that's pretty cool. Maybe I try this on this stone.
Taking from nature to create a masterpiece.
Yes.
Imagine getting into a scuba diving thing and going to the bottom of the ocean and sculpting down there. Sharks swimming around.
You know what? That would not happen because I don't like sharks. I can tell you that now, but if I was in a place with no sharks, maybe.
I saw the funniest thing in my life. It was on, I think it was either Nova or
one of those nature programs.
Geographic. They had Michael Tyson on the bottom of some ocean.
Oh, for real?
And sharks coming by, him touching him, and him doing all kind of stuff. And then he came and said, he was saying crazy stuff. I've been with the sharks and all this kind of stuff.
Oh no, I can't do that. I don't like sea creatures outside of a goldfish or a little fish, but when it comes something larger than that, no.
But if they're on your plate, everything's cool.
If it's on my plate, dead and cooked, yes, it's fine.
Have you ever been asked by a law enforcement person to do any art? Like, so we don't know what this person looked like or whatever. Can you do any art to?
I have 2 stories to share. I was at Santa Monica Junior College. Like I said, prior to doing stonework, I was a painter. I used to do wall-to-wall murals. And I signed up for this class, and I thought it was a painting class, and I was going to paint fruit trees and baskets and stuff. So I have my easel, I'm setting it up, and then I noticed I didn't see a fruit basket or anything, and I was like, well, what's going on? And everybody else was aware what was going on but myself. And when I turned around, the man came on the stage, and he dropped his clothes. I kindly packed up my stuff. I was out of that room less than 5 minutes. I said, Lord, this is not the class for me.
You want live nature, not live men's nature.
No way. So that ended my painting career.
Do you ever get inspiration from, because I, look at nature. Science always fascinates me. I wonder if you ever think of doing something, like say with material from volcanoes.
That would be interesting. I have the desire to make a sculpture with gold, silver, and glass and stone. So that's a future project I will be working on, just to see how I can mend them together.
Yeah. That would be fascinating.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that.
And have you ever done anything with glass?
No, I have not, but I am going to enroll into a glass blowing class so I can blow glass. Yeah.
It's amazing the things that womankind comes up with.
Yes.
How would you come up with blowing to a thing to make glass? Well, how would someone come up with that idea?
I asked my same question because I was watching this lady blow glass, and I was like, who thought about doing something like this? I mean, that has to be something inspired by the Lord only, because that's not just something you pick up on your own. Yeah.
Maybe something fell on someone, burned. It was like, oh man.
Or like, maybe.
Because everything else happened by so-called accident. The apple on what Newton's head, was it?
Right.
And then the Wright brothers on the plane.
On the plane, yes. Trial and error. That's all it's about.
It's crazy. And what was the lady, Madame Curie, with penicillin? Was that the one?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I wonder how close we all are to something incredible and don't go far enough to get the miracle.
That happens to a lot of people. A lot of people stop before they get to the finished goal.
I think a lot of
But
us
I hope that would never be in my case, because I want to go forward and I want to inspire. And
I have a thought for you.
what's that?
Start a design in which you design a fashion design made up of entirely sculptured pieces. Like say this is, like it might be a clay outfit.
I did a fashion line with a sculpture, and it did pretty good. I might do that in the future again.
But you know what I mean, like a skirt or a coat made up of total clay.
Of a total clay?
Clay or glass or
That would be a good idea.
Made totally up of the elements.
Right. That would
That's
be
a Stella's
good.
design made of quartz.
Right.
She comes out in the quartz outfit.
That would
doing
be
the
very heavy though.
But it'd be valuable like a mug.
It would be valuable, but it would be very heavy and it'd be very hot.
Yeah. But it would be original.
It'd be original.
It'd beat
And that's one thing I must say. All my artwork is original. I do not make duplicates. And that's what makes my artwork so special.
And on that note, we have to say that Stella is indeed an original. Thank God that He kept you alive for us to not only love, but to love your talent. And tell people where your incredible artwork can be found.
You can find my artwork on my website, sculpturesbystella.net. And you can find my book on Amazon, My Grace is Sufficient by Stella Singleton Jones.
Thank you so much, Stella, for coming on my show.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nuclear Pop. Maurice Rains saying so long. Come back next time. And we appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.